The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Well, we're excited about getting to play Lenoir-Rhyne and play them at home. Lenoir-Rhyne's a great football team on all sides of it. They've Drew and has come in and done a great job. Those kids that are returning kids and the new kids he brought in, they're solid, they're sound in what they do execution-wise. They're playing hard right now. They're playing with confidence. And so that's the challenge we have. We have to match that intensity, have to match that kind of excitement, and get after it on Saturday.
Senior Day and potentially the final home game of the year for your crew. What's this senior class meant to you?
Well, I told our kids yesterday, and we got 16 guys that are seniors, and gosh, they've been very, very important to our program. They've been very important as individuals. They've made contributions, many of them, other than just being on the field out here, that type of thing. They've made many contributions to our program. When you get kids that are seniors that have been in there for 4 years, some of them 5 that were redshirted, that's a special attachment. That's a special part of your family that never goes away. So I want our kids, and I talked to them yesterday about making sure that this game is important. This game's got value. It's got value to us as a program. It's got value to them as an individual. But it's important and got value to these kids that are seniors, because you're going to remember the last home game. You're going to remember your last snap. And so it's an important game.
You've played better at home this year than on the road. You've averaged 49 at home, 21 away from Mossy Creek. There's been a little bit of difference in strength of schedule, but what do you owe that to?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's being comfortable where you're at. I think it's exciting about being at home. I think it's part of a game day routine, a game day tradition. I think it's part of that is having crowds, family and those kind of things here. But that shouldn't matter either where you play. Gosh, you get to play football. It doesn't matter if you play away, at home, if you play inside, outside. You just get to play football. And there needs to be that kind of genuine, open heart excitement that's played when you have a chance to play football.
LR scores a ton of points. They run up tempo. How do you slow down an offense that hasn't been held below 30 all year long?
Well, they're like we said, they're very, very sound in what they're doing. They're an up-tempo team like us. We want to get more snaps. Their success depends on how many snaps they get. The same as with us. Any team plays with a tempo offense, you want more and more snaps. The more snaps you got, the more chances you got to gain yardage, the more chances you got to score touchdowns. They do a great job of changing formations, flipping formations, shifts, those kind of things. Do the same thing out of maybe 3 looks. All right, so you got to be sound in what you're doing. But there's a part of it about an alertness, sound and technique, yes, but being alert where you are, being alert to the change in the formation. We've got to have people making calls and responding to calls to get us in the right place.
A week to iron out some special teams, and you better do it in a hurry, because the conference's best punt return man is back there in Kyle Duggar, not to mention a pretty good kickoff coverage unit. How much of an emphasis do you put on that after the week you had at Tuscan?
A lot. Okay, we put a lot on that. That was a special teams meltdown, and we really thought we had got it to the point of being decent, and being solid in the execution part of it. And you look at that Saturday, we had probably 5 guys in a position to just go ahead and finish the tackle, okay? And we didn't get it done. I don't mean 5 running to it. They were 5 around the guy. The block punt, which is no excuse for that at all, and then the snap over the head, and those kind of mistakes are what wins or loses football games. Okay, and to overcome those, which you can, and we certainly have in the past here. To overcome those, you've got to be playing at a high level of execution and a high level of want to. And unfortunately, we weren't there at that level on Saturday. We know this, that Duggar back there is a great punt returner. There's no question about it. He's a great free safety. He's one of the best football players in our league, period. And you better account for him every time he's on the football field. And they're going to bring an enthusiasm with their kicking game, with their special teams that we have to match.
Obviously, a lot of high expectations coming into this season. I'm sure it's not where you want to be right now. How do you turn that disappointment into motivation over the next 2 weeks?
Well, I think you got to make it, Michael. That's hard. I'll just be straight up honest with you, man. That's hard. But I do think this. We're here coaching these kids, and we're trying to make a difference in their lives. We can't change as coaches. We've got to be the one shot in their life that they see somebody that's going to be positive for them, that's going to be an encourager, that's going to be a reinforcement person for them in their lives. I just want these kids to understand we want them to be great. I want them to be great on the football field. I want them to be great in the classroom. I want them to be great in their relationship with the Lord. And you can't do that, either one of those, until you turn completely loose in each area right there. You've got to completely turn it. You got to trust. And we're working to get there. I still think we can be a great football team before this is over with this year. And I think all the things that we talked about making them great, yes, it has to do with wins and losses, absolutely. But it also has to do with the end result of it. We finished these last 2 weeks like we're supposed to. That's a great football team. That's finishing things well. And I want them to understand what it means to finish. We've let a couple of games get away from us this year because we haven't finished well. And we've got to learn how to finish to win in football, to win championships. You got to learn how to finish in your life, in your classroom deal, the books. And you better learn how to finish in your relationships, because there's a day when football for many of these kids will be over here. And what do they have left? They have relationships that they made here. I hope they've got a degree from Carson-Newman that will sustain them, but I hope they've got a great relationship with the Lord.
Derek Evans, I'm sure, hasn't had the season that he quite wanted to have. What do you want to see from him over these final 2 weeks to kind of see him continue to improve here in the final couple weeks?
Well, we talked yesterday. He and I talked. We talked Saturday after the game. Talked with Derek and several other kids just one-on-one in the office yesterday, and to try to figure out, what exactly had happened. And I do understand it totally, and they do too. They're quite honest and upfront about it. But I do want for Derek to finish strong. I want him to come out of this one and say, hey, there's where I finished. This is where I'm going to get to. And he's had some things, a little nagging this or that have slowed him down some this year. And we've had the freshman guys around him that are inside, which is going to be a big difference for him next year, where those guys are veterans. So he has a lot to finish strong for in this game. Gosh, you're playing somebody that's playing at that level. We've got to match it. And Derek is the kind of kid that can get that done. He had a great performance against them last year, and he and I talked about that yesterday.
We talked about special teams, but in your 2 conference losses this year, your opponent has had an easy time running the football, and even the Catawba game in overtime, they were able to run the football against you. How much of an emphasis do you put on trying to stop the run this week? Well,
the last year that was, I think, was the strength of our football team, our program, our defense. And, you got to say you got a defensive front that's their job. They've got to stop the front. And we weren't able to get that done a couple times this year. And we've got some kids that are playing with some not nagging, they're major injuries that they're playing through them. But, that's the part where you got to rise above it, okay? You can say next man up, and you can do that and put the next guy in there. But we've got to have those kids that, hey, there's a couple of them that are looking at this as my last game or my next to last game in my career, possibly. So I need to make sure I'm turning that thing loose right there, that I can look back and say, hey, I got no regrets about the way I played.
You talk about that for final games, it's primarily on the defense. where you have your seniors. There's a handful on offense, but the majority of them are on the defensive side of the football. How do you use that to motivate them to close out the year strong?
Well, I've talked to several of them about that. About, hey, it's coming down, buddy. You're guaranteed so many games. Right now, we're guaranteed 2. Okay, that we're hoping things fall in place to get more, but right now we're guaranteed 2. And you will remember certain things in your football career. You will remember the last home game. You will remember my last game, and I need to play. And there's no reason to hold anything back. There's no reason to save anything. It needs to be a completely turn it loose, max out my effort so that I can look back and say, hey, I gave everything I had and I have no regrets.
LR defensively, you kind of alluded to Kyle Duggar, but just what a difference maker is he at the back of their defense at that safety spot?
Well, he's a big difference maker. Okay, when he shows up, things happen. Okay, he's a difference maker, and he roams that field pretty good, and they put him in position to make plays. But he's got a lot of people around him that are good football players. They're playing hard, they're playing physical right now, and they're liking the way they play. That's the way we want us to be, like the way we play. All right, when you like the way you play, I don't think it gets down as much about wins and losses as long as you like the way you play. And our kids didn't necessarily like the way they played Saturday. So here's a chance to come out, start today. Everything's been put aside. Let's get on with it, and let's see what happens on Saturday.
Kind of a bizarre thing about their flex bone attack, the quarterback, negative yards rushing on the year for Grayson Willingham, but yet number 1 in the country in yards per completion.
Right.
What's he doing to operate the offense well, but not really keeping the ball himself much?
Well, it's more of the wing tee sets and the jet sweeps and those kind of things. They have some option in there, but they're trying to get you outflanked. They're trying to get you out of place on counter type deals, but they're on the move and they're going fast with it and trying to go downhill against you as quick as they can.